Where is it? Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, everybody. We're going to give people a couple more minutes. It's just now 7, so we'll give them 2 minutes and then we're going to get started with Kianga. I already had a preview, so I'm like, ooh. And it's Friday, so
Yeah.
it's been a crazy week. Mm. Good, but crazy, just busy and the
Yeah.
month is over. I'm just,
Same here. It's been crazy but busy in a good way, in a good way.
yeah,
Because
that's not a
you want
complaint, right? It's
busy,
like,
but it's like, what else
the
do I
pace
need to
is,
get
yeah,
done? So,
I know. Because August, I'm still looking for August. I'm like, what happened?
look, August just left without even saying goodbye.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That sounds like a doorbell. Is that people coming?
Yeah, that's people that they ring the bell and I have to let them in.
Oh, okay.
No,
That's
you do
cute.
this regular, Zoom, but yeah, you get the doorbell. Then when they actually come in the room, it's another tone. It's like a fat, yeah.
Okay.
So, so when you do Zoom, you just let people in. Is that how you do it? You don't
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. But I've never heard the bell though. I've never heard a doorbell, but that ding dong. I want
Really?
to
I
hear
thought
the
that's
ding
always
dong.
good.
Yeah, I let people in it. I don't hear nothing.
That's always good. Mm.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Everybody's mute. Oh, okay.
Hello,
You can't.
hello. I'm here.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
So,
Greetings.
Okay, here's one more. Let her get settled, and I think we're gonna just start and go
Okay.
for it.
Sounds good.
Okay. See, between the doorbell and the other thing, it's like, I mean, it's handy if you kind of know someone's waiting.
Yeah. I need to activate the door. Maybe I don't have my doorbell activated or something.
When you set up the meeting, it says that whether they have to wait to be let in, and you do yes, like the options yes, and
Oh, okay.
then
Okay.
but then you have to click people in when they're late, and you're the
Oh,
one
I know I
speaking, and
can't
you can
hear it.
kind of do both. But it's not
Okay.
that bad. Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
it's not too. All right, buddy, we're going to get started because I like to start somewhat on time for those who come on time. You know how I am. So,
Mm.
welcome everyone. I'm Lisa, as you all know. Welcome to our first Lisa and Friends collective chat. I'm pleased to have Kianga Jinaki with me. She's my sister from another mother. We met,
Okay.
but just bonded. I think we met because
In
the first thing
Ghana, girl, I
the
met
Ghana
going
trip,
to Ghana
right?
with you.
She signed up for the Ghana trip 2013,
Yeah.
and we've just been just soulmate
Yeah. Laughing
kind
at
of I guess attached
all.
at the hip but not physically. So
Right.
and we just have the same crazy sense of humor and we laugh at the same things incessantly and we just have a great time. So anyway, and also she's a talented artist aside from all the fun that we have. So I just wanted to introduce Kianga. Some of you might know her. You might have seen her interview in Fabrigasm, another place we kind of chewed the fat a little bit. And I thought it'd be nice to see what she's up to now. I know she's just relocated. She'll tell us all about that. And just Kianga, take it away. Tell us about yourself.
All right. Greetings, everyone. I am Kianga Jinaki, and I refer to myself as a fiber artist who quilts and make dolls, and I work with paper. Oh, I have to show you my shirt. This is, he was my husband in another life, Frederick Douglass. This young
Nice.
man did a version of him, and I'm like, how cool is that? So anyway,
Very.
I started with doll making back in the '90s. I went to Dark Images Black Doll Show and was hooked. I started making dolls, and from that, I started to explore quilts. Collage is actually the art of my childhood, and I kind of went back to that too. So I work in those three mediums: doll making, quilting, and collage. And I'm a child of the '70s. Okay. I grew up in East Baltimore. Um, I'm back here in Baltimore now. I spent 40 years living in South Florida. It was
Was it
nice.
that long? I know you were there that long. Oh my
That
gosh.
long. It was that long. Well, 86. I moved there in 86.
That
And
is about foot. Wow.
yeah, and I just moved back here in April. And I'm very happy to be back in the Baltimore, Washington area because it don't get more revolutionary than the DMV. I'm sorry. That that good energy and it's a lot of artists and it's a lot of fiber artists and it's a lot of quilting, it's a lot of history and it's a lot of inspiration. So I refer to my work as African heritage work because I use African textiles. That's my thing. I've always worked with African textiles. I especially love handmade African textiles like Bogalan, like Kuba, like the beautiful batiks that Lisa brings back. I love them for my work, and you'll see it when I show you the slides of my work that I use a lot of hand fabrics because I believe that fabric has its own story. And when you're creating, you're also adding to that story. The artists who tied and dipped and stamped and pounded and weaved, they put their energy into it and their love and their magic. And then you're taking that and you're turning it into a quilt, or you're turning it into a doll, or you're adding it to a collage, or you're wearing it. You
Powerful, right?
so yeah, you're taking it to a whole nother level. So that is the work that I work with. And also Black life. My work is all about celebrating us, celebrating us. The stories that inspire me are stories from my childhood, people from my life, music, our poetry. And as I show you the slides of my work, I will and add that to it so you can see the connection to what I'm saying. So
Sounds good. Just to go back for a second, like, I know you talked about how the textile artists, weave and paint and stamp and do all their things to the fabric. A lot of times I wonder after I make something, like, what would they think of this? It's just like
mm,
I wish I could show them some things that I've done with the fabric just to kind of see
yeah.
what the reaction is, or if it's just I always kind of wonder if they'd be happy with it, that kind of thing.
Yeah. As you said that, I was thinking they may think the same thing. I wonder what someone's going to do with this.
Yeah, yeah,
What's
maybe.
this going to
In the
become?
early days, but going to Ghana, like I didn't really see much quilting there. And when I
Right.
would show the piece, when I would like a patchwork, and they'd look at it like they hadn't seen it before. And I'm like, wow, all this fabric like around you. It's just like, oh. But I just always wonder, like, even if the older pieces, like old piece of Bogolan or something, what would
Hmm.
they think if they saw this jacket? Like, how would they have imagined it to be used that way and that kind of thing? So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
good to see you mentioned that.
You,
Yeah.
you know, something that when with Bogalan, I was scared to cut it at first. Like I would just look. I was like, I can't cut it. I can't cut it. But
Oh.
yes, I can. you
Yeah,
know,
and sometimes you have to get over that too a little bit. There's,
yeah, I
I
had to
mean,
get
I
over
think
it.
the only thing I won't cut, I think, is real woven kente. Like kente,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but bogle. I mean, I cut bogolan, I cut kuba. So I guess it's just if your intention is to use it,
With
creatively, and
love.
you're not just hacking it up for the sake of hacking it up, then I think
Yeah.
that it's probably okay. But
With
yeah, some people.
Bogalan and Kente, I tend to work on the seam though.
Mm,
I try to just if I'm going to use a piece, like I'm working on this book for a class that I'm going to do, and I just
oh, nice.
took these two pieces at the
Yeah,
seam, and this is just,
nice,
that's it. And I do
nice.
that with Kente, but I have cut Kente, but I'm careful of like where I cut it and all of that.
Mm.
And I thank the artists who put that together so that I can have it to work with.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
definitely. But my mind always goes back to them, just what
yeah,
they would think. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you have some visuals for us?
I do.
Mhm.
See. And so I'm just going to take you on a journey of my artist journey. This is me in 1991 at Dark Images Black Doll Show. That was the first doll show that I attended. I got into doll making with my daughter Ise, who just turned 40. Oh my God, they're getting. But when she was 5, she asked me to
Yeah.
make a doll that looked like her. So I
And
just
how old was she at that point? She was
she
what?
she was like 5. She was 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
And she had dreads, and we
Wow.
all dressed in garb. As you can see, this was me, my long locks. I wrapped my hair and everything. And so I created these dolls to reflect that. This is all the fabric that I love. I've always loved and worn African fabric. And even back then, though, interesting, I'll share this. The faces, I didn't do the faces because I didn't have the confidence that I could draw the faces. I actually paid an elder. She lived in my development. And I go to Miss Lowry's and I'd have the front part of the doll. I would give her a stack of those. And she painted the faces. But
Really?
but the demand for my faces, the demand for the dolls, she couldn't work fast enough, you know?
Wow.
And I had to figure that out because I'm a self-taught
Wow.
artist. Like I never had at this point, I hadn't taken any art classes. I'm just figuring stuff out. Like their outfits, I just cut them out. And the doll to the left with the beaded veil, that was the first doll I did. And she doesn't have a face. She's an Ndaka bride doll.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and that was like me trying to figure it out. I said, well, maybe I can just do a beaded veil face. But what I did was I got some art books with African mask and I start tracing and practicing and practicing and practicing. And you'll see that, in so this is a face that I did. This is one of my first faces. And
I
I
love
just,
him. You know that.
yeah, oh yeah. And his beard is actually, there was a company called Putnam. They started doing black doll stuffing. They did polyfill. They did black, they did caramel, and they did chocolate. And because people would look and say, "Is that real hair?" No, it is not. I don't use real hair on my dolls. I use llama wool. I use yarn. Her hair is actually a macrame cord from back in the
Oh,
day.
wow.
It
Nice.
looked just like braids.
It does.
Yep. So these are, and I've always worn glasses, so you'll see glasses. They pop up on my dolls regularly. I just, twisted some wire and made the glasses.
Wow. He is too cool.
I know,
I
right?
mean, she's cool too, but I just
Yeah, no,
gravitate to the beard.
yeah, he is so cool. He is so cool. And these are my dolls. Like these dolls I made last summer. Last summer. So the dolls have evolved. I started out using a McCall's pattern, and that wasn't as I grew, I wanted to make my own pattern. So this is one of my patterns that I use. And the little dresses and stuff. You recognize any fabric?
A couple, yeah.
Lisa, I think all of these might have come from you.
Wow. I remember, the one on the edge. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes, yep. And I'm all for making fashionistas. I always have a cute little bag, so they always have to have bags and sandals. And you see, at least one of them has glasses on. And I like to use not necessarily traditional skin tones. Like I like that. Like she looks like she has freckles. I use blues and purples, but I'm always making a black doll. Rest assured.
Wow.
No matter what color their skin is, that's a black doll.
Black features, yes.
Yeah.
That hair is so pretty. I love it.
Yeah. The one with the glasses, that hair is actually llama wool, and I dyed it. And when I dyed it, it like puffed up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what color was it originally? Was it just natural color?
It was I think it was like a blonde. Uh,
Oh,
I'll show you later because I have it
it was
here.
a light color. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it was like, yeah, llama color.
Mm.
And I wanted it darker. So I dyed it like a brownish, a reddish brown.
Well, I just want to squeeze her hair. It's like so
I
it looks
know, right? Uh,
like
And
nice.
Kianga, what are
yes,
you
ma'am.
using for the skin tone?
Like I
Is
said, I
regular
just
fabric or you using old nylons or anything?
oh no, regular fabric. I use all of them. This is all regular fabric, but I
Okay.
use like you see her skin. It's yellow with like
Oh, I
little
see.
Okay.
circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Like
I like
textured,
See
like
this
now.
textured
because
skin.
it looked
Yeah.
freckly. I said,
Mm.
we have
Yeah.
freckles, and then brown and
Nice.
ebony.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And this
Wow.
is my
Very cool.
dolls now. Like the last couple of years, I've kind of gone back into making dolls, African dolls. Like in African doll making is about representing the culture. This doll was inspired by the Namdi dolls of Cameroon, and they are
Mm.
fertility and good luck dolls. I'll show you her mother. Her mother doesn't have arms. She's just like this little shape, and she has a
Mm.
lot of cowrie shells. But this one I did a group, it's three of them. They are
Mm.
Blue Moon's daughters. For Cookie Washington's
Wow.
show, the Black music show a couple years ago, I did this. They're a singing group. So they each have like a little singing message. Hers was listen. But this is
I was
my
gonna ask you
original.
about the listing. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is my original pattern again. And I
Oh,
made her
nice.
arms like a little jointed. And I'm like, I create my own patterns and I'm just figuring stuff out. And I
Mm.
like I did like a patchwork. If you can see her,
Yeah.
you can see.
I like the body shape though. It's interesting. I like it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the torso. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. And her hands are made out of felt and her feet are felt. And I just did a little strip on her feet to make the sandals. And I
Love it.
stitched right into her. Now, interesting,
Wow.
like for her breast, I wanted her to be a breast cancer survivor. So these are
Mm.
the strips that I put to represent her
Oh
breast.
wow.
And I stitched down, as you can see, that's like a heart that I stamped on this. I did this
Oh
fabric. I
yeah.
stamped on it, and then I added music notes and cowrie shells. And my
Mm.
faces have evolved a little bit more, you know?
I see. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And this is me. What you can see that same doll. This is three of them. I got a
Mhm.
fellowship from Palm Beach County Innovative Artist Fellowship. They gave seven of us this fellowship. It was $1,500 to just
Mhm.
create. We had a show, of course, at
Wow.
the end, and this is me at the opening of that show.
Mm.
This is how I quilt. Like I'll patchwork. I machine, piece, and hand quilt.
Okay. Fair enough.
Those are cowrie shells. This is actually in traditional African religion. One of the things you can do is you can throw the cowries you ask a question and you get a yes or no answer. If all of them
Mm.
are turned up like that, that's a yes. So at the top, you
Mm.
see the hand is actually the hand of God throwing out what kind of day is it going to be, you know?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so
Wow.
yeah, so that's how my head thinks.
Beautiful.
Um,
And
so
what year is this again, Kianga?
this was 2022.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I
Mm.
did this is like a smaller version of this, right? It's like how do I describe it? Like I said, that's the hand of God, and then we're seeing it
Mm.
in a larger version, and that
Right.
means alafia. When all
Mm.
four of the shells are face up like that, and you can just see the line.
Mm.
Alafia means yes. It's gonna be a good day.
Mm.
It's something good is gonna happen. Like if you asking a question,
Wow.
you need a yes or no answer for whatever this is. Whatever you ask, the answer is yes in this case. And you see
Mm.
my dolls in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This okay. I'm shifting to my quilts now. I started making quilts in about 90, I think 94. And my first quilts all had dolls on them. So these are these little tiny dolls that I dressed. It's kind of blurry because this picture was taken in '94.
Okay. Pre-digital.
Right, pre-cell phones and stuff. But I always put dolls on my quilts, and I love working with burlap. So that center is burlap. And I also love putting words. And again, mud cloth border. I love I use mud cloth as my binding. In my earlier quilts, like I didn't do binding. I did a frame. I always frame stuff because I didn't submit my quilts to quilt shows. I submitted my quilts to art shows. And in art shows, everybody had their stuff in a frame. So I made a frame for my stuff, you know. The quote on here is, "What good is a song if it can't inspire, if it has no message to bring? If a song cannot take you higher, then it's not good enough to sing." So I like including messages also in my work. Yeah. This is 2019. This is Spirit of the Cloth. She was machine pieced, hand quilted, and it was the first time I submitted a quilt to a quilt show to be judged. I'll have to tell you the story about why I didn't really do quilt shows. Well, in 91, or 92, when I first was interested in quilting, I went to a meeting of the Palm Beach County Quilt Guild. And I bought my little quilt. I bought my quilt with the dolls on it, and it had a Bob Marley quote, and it was a whole thing. Johnny was, and I was sharing it. And one of the ladies, she said, "You're not a quilter, you're a fiber artist." And she didn't mean it to be nice. You know what I mean? It was like, you don't belong here.
Wow.
As it took me back for a minute, but one of the other ladies came over to me. She said, "We have a smaller group. We call ourselves the Innovative Quilters, and we think you would fit in perfectly." So, I started hanging out with the Innovative Quilters, and it's
meanwhile, she whispered it though, right?
She whispered. She came over and whispered it in my ear because I guess I was like, okay, so y'all don't want me to be a part of y'all quilt, all right,
Wow.
So, but what it did was it made me hesitate about submitting my quilts to quilt shows to be judged, because I always felt like they're judging me because I can't make a straight line with a ruler.
And don't want to.
Yeah, and I'm not really a pattern follower. I'm just citing it. I'm measuring with my eyes. I'm cutting it how I want it. I'm putting it together. I'm not concerned about whether this corner fits with this corner. You can see this is not a square, right?
Right.
But she won an honorable mention. I was so happy the first time I put a quilt in, she won an honorable mention, So
love it.
I stopped being afraid after that, putting my work in quilt shows and being judged.
Or it has to be the right show, even because
absolutely.
The mermaid shows and we have our niches now that we didn't have before. So
yes, that's true. That is very true. I use a lot of photographs to create my quilts. This was actually a photograph of this woman just walking up the street with laundry on her back. And I, blew up the image and deconstructed it and created my pattern. The Adinkra symbol behind her represents the ancestors. The red stitching is also the ancestors' presence in her life. And I see myself as her in the sense that she is going about her life, doing what she has to do, but she's still focused on her dreams and the things that she wants for herself, and that's how I saw myself. Again, I love using kente to frame things. And I hand painted that yellow background. That was just some muslin fabric that I did a wash on, a little acrylic paint with water, and just brushed it and let it dry. And just some brown. I'll try to blow it up so you can see. And I also like using monofilament, the invisibles, And
Yeah.
that's what I used on her. That's why you don't really see the stitches that are on her and the baby.
Right. Wow.
This is the piece that I did. Elisa, I when we went to Ghana, was that the first
Mhm.
sojourn or
No, that was 2013. We did an exhibit, and some of the artists actually came on. They were on the trip, and some weren't, but most of them were on the trip. And we each had at least one piece. Some had three. In the show we put together at the Day Center, which is like
yes.
a gallery there, and it was an interesting experience. It was very cool. We had little panel discussions, and we did some
Yeah.
fun stuff. So it was
Yeah,
cool.
that was so good. That was my second time going to Africa.
Mm.
But it was such a lovely experience. It was my first sojourn with you.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
because we were in Ghana, I decided to have to do a quilt Ottawa, which is one of the national dances of Ghana. So that's what she's doing. Um,
Mhm.
I saw this video come up on my news feed of this little girl. No, just a picture. And then when I went on YouTube, this was like 13 years ago, I found her dancing. This same little girl.
Wow.
I haven't recently I looked and I couldn't find it anymore. But it
Wow.
really connected me. In this picture, you'll notice I have bones. These are deek deek bones. It was like a necklace that I got. And the deek deek is a little antelope, I think, or deer. It's a
Mhm.
very small deer that lives in
Mhm.
East Africa, and it makes this noise, deek deek, deek deek. It lets the other animals know when somebody is coming around that they don't want around, like
Oh,
hunters or
wow.
whatever. And
Okay.
I had gotten a necklace that was made from it. So I used those in my quilt. And that represents the ancestors that she's dancing
Mm.
on them, and dancing on the soil of the ancestors. And I
Mhm.
tried to make her outfit as close to their traditional costume as possible,
I see
with the
that. Yeah.
kente and layering the fabric and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I used real
Beautiful.
beads. Yeah. This is
That
her
was one of my
again.
favorites from the show.
Yeah, I used my same pattern, the same image, and this is a crayon batik. I melted Crayola crayons and drew
Mm.
on the piece. I printed it out and drew it on fabric and then stitched around it. And then the fabric
So
around
wait. Hold, I'm sorry. So explain what did you do with the crayons again?
you get like a cupcake tin and you
Okay.
put the crayons in it and you put it on what is that? A heating thing? What do you
Oh,
call it?
okay. Yeah, like hot plate or
Hot,
something. Yeah.
hot plate. You put it on a hot
Mm.
plate. Well, you could actually buy this thing that kind of looks like that and it plugs into the wall. You put the crayons in,
Oh,
right? And
okay.
so then you have an image like a coloring book page. But mine, I
Hmm.
had already had my own image. So I traced my image onto muslin. And then
Right.
I painted it with the crayons.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, I painted it with
Cool.
the crayons, and then we use Indian ink, and you brush that over it, and then you bend it. You ball it up so it crinkles, and then you iron
Wow.
out the excess. I know.
Nice.
I had taken a class, and I just loved it.
I was
So
gonna say, do you do a class on that? We gotta talk.
I did a class just before COVID, but I haven't done
Okay.
it recently, so I would have to practice it again to get it. But it
That
was,
sounds fun.
it was fun. And you
That
can
sounds
see, you
nice.
see that all of that is paint, all of those colors, that's Crayola.
Wow. We gotta work on that. Okay. That looks
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the background fabrics, I just deconstructed this yellow and black tie-dye that I had, and then I had a black and white tie-dye and
Mm.
together. And my signature slow stitch. I just love slow stitch.
Mhm.
I love that the lines aren't quite straight, and
Yeah.
it's just the dance of the thread and the needle.
Yeah. Well, you loved it before it was trendy too. I know that. You were way ahead of the curve on that one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, look, yeah, yeah,
They
I
didn't even
was,
say slow stitch, and you were already on it. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I was doing it with people going, oh, what? She didn't use
It's
a sewing
crooked.
machine. Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
This
Wow.
piece, I feel like this is one of my most powerful pieces. I did
Mm.
this for a show that I did in 2019, and this is when the Orange Turd was running the first time, and he kept saying, "Make America great again," and I'm like, "Great, like like enslavement, because that's America's history, you know."
Mm.
And so what I put at the top, the foundation of the U.S. economy is slavery. You can, when they say old money is slave
Yeah.
money. That's, I mean,
Yeah.
that's slave
Yep.
money. Um,
Mm.
and I found this red, white, and blue fabric in Joann's, right? And I felt like it kind of was a deconstructed American flag of sorts, as the
Wow.
colors. And then
Mm.
that fabric that's behind them, that's also I got from Joann's. It looked like a cotton field to me, or it looked like an aerial view of some kind of field.
Yeah.
This quilt was inspired by, I was in my friend's car, and Prince
Mm.
did the cover of a staple singer song, and the song was "When Will We Be Paid for the Work That We've Done?" And I just
Wow.
started crying. I just started
Wow.
crying. And I
Mm.
was like, I have to do something. I have to express that, you know.
Yeah.
The bags that
Wow.
when our ancestors were picking cotton, they were expected to pick 100 pounds a day. And those bags were as big as their bodies. And if you think about that, 100 pounds of cotton is not heavy,
Light. Yeah.
very light.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even this is real cotton that I bought from Black Cotton. There's a brother, I don't know where his farm is, but I ordered cotton from him. So
Mm. He's on
everywhere you
Instagram if
see,
anybody wants him. Yeah.
yeah, everywhere you see, that's real cotton. I even kept it in, you can see up here at the top, I kept it in like the little bud that it grows in.
Wow.
And
Oh man. Mm.
this was again a photograph. This
Mm.
actually was a photograph of a prison farm. This wasn't even during enslavement. This was after enslavement, when they started locking us up and still having us
Mm.
work.
Right.
So anyway, so this is
Wow.
this was like I said, this was my statement piece. I had an opportunity to do a show with one other artist, and their work was on pedestal, and I had all the wall space in the gallery. So I was like, okay.
Mm.
I need to say something. And this was me saying something. So
Wow.
um,
Mm.
all
Love
right,
it.
moving away from my quilts, I also
What
collage.
weather tomorrow?
Hmm? I'm sorry. Did someone ask a question?
I
Oh,
thought
okay.
someone. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um, Thank you. This was actually a black and white image that I got out of an old jazz book. Um, and I took that black and white image, and I used those Dirk Went intense Inktense pencils, and
Mm.
I shaded Dizzy Gillespie to get that brown of his skin and his hands. His suit is actually paper. Yes, I'll type in a Dirk Went Inktense pencils. They're watercolor pencils. You can shade with them, and then you can wet them, and they become paint. They're really, really nice. They
Oh
expensive.
wow.
They expensive. Like, I think I got a set of 8 for $35. Well, that
Mm.
was 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, so
Yeah.
probably more than that now. But I like
Mm.
using them. So his suit is handmade paper. The background is also paper. Behind
Mhm.
that is paper on a canvas. And I found this feather, you can see, and I just put it got stuck. I had painted on it and somehow it got stuck in the paper and the paper was on it. And I just added that to it too. You can see his tie is another different paper that I use. And you can kind of see
Oh, wow.
how I cut it and put it back together. I love
Mm.
doing that. I love collage. I as an artist, I was inspired by Romare Bearden and Faith Ringgold. Those were two people that just spoke to me. Oh,
Nice.
so I thought I was done with quilts, but here's another quilt. He just jumped in the middle. I don't work from a pattern per se. I work from an idea in my head. This quilt is actually a whole piece. That black and white was one piece of fabric, and you can see that it looks like hieroglyphs. It also had these spaces where there was nothing, like it was on the wall, but they didn't put anything there. So I cut those out. I cut those pieces out and I added this hand-dyed fabric to the back. I did a photo transfer of the young woman on there and added her. And then I used Ankara, what is that? What did you call it? The disc, the records?
Records, the records print, yeah.
Yeah, I cut that out and I stitched into that. All hand quilted. The border, that is called is it not wrist? Discharge dyeing. I had these black napkins and I twisted them just like you do for any kind of tie dye, and you dip them in bleach. And with black fabric, it takes out color.
Right.
Yeah, instead of putting it in. So that's the border is just some thrift store black napkins that I dyed. And I did machine stitch around that and add that to it.
Fabulous.
Thank you. Here's another, just a little area that I did so you could see. And I like to switch up my thread. That's one of the things that I do appreciate about working by hand. Like where it was gold, I can use gold. Where it's blue, I use blue thread. In the image of the record, I use yellow and red to pop out. I use a lot of elegant. I hand stitch with eleganza Wonderfill. I know you have that for a lot of your kits and stuff too, right, Lisa?
I was using it. Yeah, no, I kind of switched to what's the other one?
DNC, is it DNC?
No, the other the Romanian one. Why am I blanking out?
Oh, I don't know the Romanian one. You're gonna have to hit me today.
Yeah, they have really juicy stuff. What's the name? I can't even find it. Oh my god, I'll find it. I'm blanking out.
Okay. But yeah, I do.
Valdani. I'm sorry, it's Valdani.
Valdani. Oh, I'm not familiar.
Valdani.
I'm not.
They have. Oh, this stuff is they hand dyed the threads. I think you'll appreciate that.
Ooh,
they have like a bajillion colors and a bajillion weights. I mean, it's just they have silk thread. They have god. You go in their booth at a show and it's like threadgasm.
I gotta check them out. I have to check them out. This piece is actually currently on exhibition at the Dorchester Center for the Arts in Dorchester, Maryland, Harriet Tubman's hometown, Cambridge, Maryland. And this is called Black Girls and Butterflies Are Beautiful. This is also a photograph that I love to transfer photographs to cloth. This picture reminded me of myself when I was a little girl. That's why it spoke to me. And it was paint. They had paint on her face, but I added more, like the dots under her eye and over her eye. That's me adding to it. And I also, as you can see, I stitched. I love working with gold, metallic fabrics, metallic threads. Yes, they break up. Yes, they can be a pain, but I still love them. I forgive them for all of that. And sometimes I just let them hang out, So as you can see around that green, that's hand-dyed fabric that I had. That's all hand stitched around her. And that pink and orange, that's all hand stitching. And then I came out and I did that scallop thing on my sewing machine, stitching. Yeah. And then I had this batik. I don't know if I might have got this from you too, Lisa. It had these little butterflies. It's an adinkra symbol, but it looked like a butterfly to me. So I cut the shapes out and I added
Oh,
a
okay.
bead. And let me see, I'm trying to bring, and I stitched around the edge. I did a whip stitch around the edge of all of them.
Right.
And then just placed them on there.
Nice.
And then gave her earrings and stuff. This is my
Right.
market woman. I love being a woman of the market. I love vending. I love setting up my table. I love the interaction with people. I love selling my art like that. I'll do gallery, but I will still do a market. I love it. And so this is me, the market woman over on your far left. You see her. The little green women, that fabric, actually, I got it from the thrift store. I did some research, and Fruit of a Loom actually used to do loungewear and pajamas and stuff like that in the 60s and 70s. This was one of their fabrics that they used. And can you imagine having a pair of pajamas from Fruit of a Loom in the 70s with women all over it, market women all over
I
it?
would love that. Oh my God. Can
Right,
you imagine?
right,
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
So each little woman represents the market woman moving around. She's over
Wow.
here, she's over there. And so I did like this. If you look from her feet, from the big market woman's feet, you see all her little trails where she went.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice.
And this is some Lisa fabric. I love working with hand-dyed fabrics. And somebody told me, they said, "Oh, you like working with muted fabrics." I never thought about it like that. And it's like, yeah, I do. I love, yeah, I love this. I love working with the softness of dyed fabric, and it's the inconsistency, like it's all how I move and how I create,
Yep. It's definitely a
even,
perfect match.
yeah, like her head, I found this fabric that looked like a basket, and that hand-dyed fabric that looked like corn to me, so I put it in the basket. Gave her a head wrap, and then I said, "Oh, she needs a little purse," so I put a little purse on her arm. She's also in Dorchester. Her and Black Girls and Butterflies, they're both in Dorchester.
Nice.
This piece I did right after President Obama said they were going to put my girl on the $20 bill.
Right.
And so when they did that, they did these markups of what it would look like if she was on the $20 bill. I took one of the images, and if you try to put it in a printer, it blows it up bigger. I asked my daughter about it. She said, "Yeah, so you can't do counterfeit." Yeah.
Right.
This is really big. Okay. It looks small here, but that's a big $20 bill. On cloth. I just did a transfer on cloth. And again, I colored her with the Inktense pencils. The red and the blue of her shawl. And I even shaded her skin. And I left everything else like the natural that looked like a $20 bill. It's a machine pieced and hand quilted. And it's called Symbols of Power. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. This is one of my mermaid pieces.
Yay.
Yeah. I just, I love adding texture and dimension. Like, I can't do a flat nothing. You know what I mean? Like the cowrie shells, I added all those. Those were all sewn on individually. Wow. And these were actually, like, 'cause I sell cowrie shells. These were like the boo-boos. I had a whole bag of what is called, like, people would say, I can't believe you sent me that. So I put those to the side, and I said, you know what? They'll work nicely in her tail, because they look like, yeah, she really is swimming around.
Like she's been in the water,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's what happens, they're still beautiful,
Love it.
And her tail, like, this is my little idea to make the scales. I just cut those shapes out and I stitched them on. one at a time. So it layers
Mm,
down, and I added a little metallic. I used a
mm.
coloring book pattern of some fish. I used that to make the angelfish pattern, you know.
The
And
sequin fish are blowing me away.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And then I had these little turtle beads that I added. Her hair is
Mm,
llama wool. I got the spools of llama wool from Dharma Trading Company in California.
mm,
They have a lot of cool yarns and stuff that you can use. So this was actually in the last Black Mermaid show, the one that was here in Maryland. This was my submission to that.
mm.
Yeah. Um, one of my collages, like I said, collage is that's my first love. When I was a little girl, I used to like to cut up magazine pictures and reconstruct them. And
Mm,
this is, I did a group of 3 collages, and I call it Back to My Roots. And so this is actually fabric. You see the fabric at the blue at the bottom. It's
mhm,
fabric, it's photographs, and it's paper. That
mm.
picture in the corner is actually Serena Williams. It was in Essence magazine. I was like, wow. You know
Oh,
what?
wow.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago. The artist that does that full body African painting,
Oh,
they did an
yeah, I've seen that.
article.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did an article on him, and she was in it, and he painted a few of the women that were in that particular issue. Um,
Mm,
this photograph in the background is actually my son Elijah's photography. He had given me some of his pieces that I could cut up. And so I like deconstructed it and reconstructed. I took 2 of the same image and put them side by side behind the woman. And this particular one is called The Indestructible Children of Africa. It's like no matter where you go and no matter how big you try to make us, we are still here. We are still here. We are still here. So it's paper, and I did these cool suns, like this one. I got 2. The 2 others have really cool suns in them, but that's that brown and white. That's actually a pair of pants I got from the thrift store that I cut up, and again, handmade paper with that. Um, This is another one of my collages that I do with fabric. This is called Just the Two of Us. I created this from a photograph. I had a man standing and a woman standing, and I kind of did something with their arms to make it a little different. And Lisa, I believe these are your fabrics too.
I don't know.
That one to the left, well, I got some
Maybe.
from you, and I also got some from Jasali, because Jasali was actually selling, he sells like fat quarters
Oh, yeah,
up.
Gasali, oh man, you should see what
Oh
he had
yeah.
this year. Yeah. But anyway,
Uh,
yeah.
uh, I,
He's doing more like he did scrap bags and pack quarters, and he's getting into the whole quilt thing. It's
oh
like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah.
when he first started doing the fat quarters, I got some fat quarters from him.
Mm, mm,
They're on canvas, and I like did a wash on the background of the canvas. And this is
mm.
no sew. This is liquid stitch that I use for the canvas
Okay.
pieces.
About
But
how
they're
big is that
fun.
piece?
It's 20, 16 by 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So this is another
Mm,
one. And this
mm,
one I call Sister Friends. And the blue I that's my own tie dyeing. I took a indigo class and we did that. I dyed that fabric. The one in the center, I don't know. I think I got that maybe at the class, and I made these Adinkra symbols that look like flowers, and I cut them out and layered them on top of the
mm,
fabric. Um, the green and brown, I deconstructed the fabric and put it back together on her body.
nice.
Yeah. And added my beads and waist beads, and the hair. Her hair
Mm.
is just a bunch of little circles that I put on top of each other. Right. And then I cut
Yeah.
out a shape for her hair.
Mm.
Same thing, you know.
Wow.
I also do these boxes. I like working. This is a cigar box, and I started creating these dolls years ago using raffia and pipe cleaners for their bodies. So her body is raffia, and I just line the cigar box with samples, with wallpaper samples, natural wallpaper samples, and then cut and manipulate the fabric and fit her in the box.
Cute.
I like looking fly, so my dolls and the people I make, they have to be fly. So her head wrap is like coming out of the box, and
yeah, I love it.
That's some more of that hand dyed fabric that I used earlier.
Nice.
This is another one.
Box. I love it. Yeah.
I like them to kind of come out of the box a little bit.
Yeah.
The first ones I did, I actually put glass on top. I had another artist. I would give him the box, and he would put plexiglass on top. And then he moved to New Orleans. So I had to figure another way to do it. So I said, well, they don't have any glass. They're not going to have any glass. This is what I'm working on now. These are my doll pins. I did them 10 years ago. And they've been whispering in the back of my head. You can wear them on your lapel, on your hat or jacket. This is what I would love to. I'm planning to teach with Lisa next year in April. So this will be the class.
Sojourn East Coast.
Yep, Sojourn East Coast. So you'll get to make your own doll pin. So I'm getting ready for a market here. So I was making these. This is their debut.
Nice. They're gonna do well.
I hope so. I think so.
Yeah.
This is the flyer from the show that I'm in now in Cambridge. I showed you the two dolls. This is all this is all yarn. This artist is from Mexico, and he makes these little spirals and glues them. Like it's really more detailed than it looks like here, but they did. It was a solo exhibit with a group response. It was called The Fiber of Life. It's called The Fiber of Life, and it runs, like I said, it's at the Dorchester Center for the Arts. If you have the opportunity to go over to Harriet's hometown, like she's everywhere. There's a beautiful, that new statue of her is right down the street. The mural is right down the street. So, and coming up October the 12th, I'll be doing the Make the Greater Goods. It's a maker's market. So people, like, I'll be there with my work, the handmade soaps and oils and cookies and vintage stuff. So this is my first market opportunity since I moved back home. So if you're in the area, I would love to see you. And this is not too far from the Baltimore Museum of Art and Charles Village. So it's, we all know Baltimore has those zombie apocalypse little sections. This is not where you know what I'm talking about. Because Baltimore got some rough spots. Baltimore has some rough spots, and Baltimore also has some beautiful spots. And this is in a real cool part of town. Definitely. So yeah, I think that's it. Yep.
Nice. Wow. Well,
thank you.
Does anyone have questions or comments or anything? You can unmute.
Yeah.
I think she answered. This is Joyce. I think she answered my major question. She's going to be at the East Coast Sojourn. I'm going to be there too.
April 6th through 10th. We added a day because everybody was like, we need another day. So it's Monday through Friday. And we're just it's gonna be one more day of pajama party and food and laughs and sewing and cooking and sharing stuff. So yes. And there's still it's filling up. Actually, I'm getting a lot of deposits already, but I'm working on the classes now. Just trying to get those all, squared away. But people are signing up, they're ready, and it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it's fun. Lisa, look, if you're hanging out with Lisa, you will have a good time. Okay.
We do.
I've gone to Santa Fe, I went to Colorado, I went to Ghana, and I did the East Coast. What, year before last, we did dolls.
You're a real East Coast veteran,
yeah. So come on.
It's frequent sojourn points. Yeah, but we have a good time.
It's Monica. I just wanted to say I enjoyed your artistry, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And I look forward to seeing more things. And hopefully, I'll make the East Coast.
Oh, that'll be
But
wonderful.
yes, but I would love to meet
So,
you in person.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
just you just blew my mind tonight. That's all.
Oh,
You know,
thank
just
you. Thank you.
it's absolutely amazing.
Thank you. I also produce a newsletter called Kianga Art Happenings. And you can go
Oh,
if you go to my website, it'll pop up, it'll invite you to join Kianga Art.
what's your
okay.
website? I'll type in your
Yeah,
website. What is it?
could
Yeah.
you put, yeah, please put her website in the chat. Thank
Yeah,
you.
What is it?
and that
It's Kianga.
KiangaArt.com. And that way you'll know what I'm doing from each month. I'm like, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing.
There we go.
And I'm actually in meeting now I'm doing a planning meeting with we're still in the planning meeting, and I don't want to say, I'll just say a major African American museum in Washington, D.C. I will be 2 days.
Okay, I got you.
2 days.
I used to live there, but I'm in
Yeah.
South Carolina now. So
Oh,
I've been to the
okay.
museum, and oh yeah, I've been to
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So I'm going to be
Let me see
teaching
the
this
book.
class.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's called A Daily
I
Prayer.
love that.
A remake of a book I did earlier, but it's a line from my part of my daily prayer, which is, let me be an open landing place for my blessings. So it's all
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, and so each page you will add just a section of the prayer, and you can add your own stuff too, and it's all slow stitched.
Oh man, I love that.
Slow stitched. And it's a 4-hour class, and when you register, I think lunch will be included. They'll be bringing lunch into you. So that's scheduled right now for December 18th and 19th.
Ooh.
I'll bring that class to Raleigh next year.
Oh, yes.
And that's a
Fun.
class.
We could do a whole Kianga weekend. We could do like 3 classes. We got to put it together.
Oh, I would love that.
This is how things happen. We just talk and we just make it happen.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yes.
That's a class. That's a class you're going to be teaching at the museum.
Yes. Yes.
What date was that again, please?
December 18th and 19th. So it's 2 days, but it's 2 separate groups.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4 hours. If you can do the 18th, you can do the 18th. If you can't do the 18th, you can do the 19th.
Good enough.
And I know it's 12 people each day, so they're not going to be really big classes. So I can, spend time with you. And it's all about Black women rest. Learning to rest and focus and slow down and tune into ourselves. So,
Black people need rest too.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Thank you.
All right.
I would say Black people. All right, Black people. Black people. Black people. Black people. We do.
Yes.
Yeah, because they trying to not let us rest, not let us have any joy. No, we can't give that to them. We cannot to this madness.
Yeah.
So
you're too creative for that. So.
Yeah.
Well, any other questions? We're gonna wind up. If not, but Kianga, thank you so much as always.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate this. I appreciate the opportunity to share my work with you.
Likewise. I appreciate you. And there's certain people I always call on that I know I can rely on, and you are always one of them. So.
Oh, thanks. My fam.
Sister from another mother. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, this will be recorded. If you want to watch it again, or if you're missing it, you'll see the recording. And we're just gonna go from there. But we got some other fun stuff coming up. Actually, Will is our next Lisa and Friends coming up in October.
All right.
So I think it's October 10th, but I didn't post it yet. I need to just confirm a couple things. So we're gonna do that and have some new friends come in and do some fun stuff. So yeah, there we are. All right. Well, thank you everyone again. Thanks for coming, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.